potential violence. Okay? It's the same reason as to why America, Kaya, please just fucking go, just stop.
When I tell you, I am so happy that this has happened. Not because I want to see somebody canceled, but because I think the reason behind it is vitally important. It's an inflection point. One of those messy public moments that pushes the conversation out of our training world and into mainstream awareness. Because before now, e-collar use was hidden inside training circles. It's been normalized, even glamorized among professionals, but invisible to the realities of it to the average person. But when a high-profile streamer does it on camera, the curtain gets pulled back and people get to see what pressure and release really looks like from the dog side. They hear the yelp. They feel that jolt in their gut. That visceral response can accomplish something that years of my quiet and many others' quiet education clearly hasn't. And it's starting to make the public question the story they've been told. Every time society outgrows an outdated practice, there is a public reckoning first. This is ours. It's not about shaming one person or any people. It's about shifting the baseline of what people consider acceptable. If someone as visible as this guy can unintentionally spark that dialogue, then the outrage is a necessary step. But we need to turn this noise into nuance and see what we can gain from it. E-collar trainers have this tribe, not just a technique. They sell belonging, confidence, certainty. Dogs are unpredictable, emotional, and deeply, deeply reflective of our own energy. When someone feels powerless, whether in life, relationships, their own body, control becomes intoxicating. E-collar gives instant cause and effects. Press the button, dog complies. You feel powerful. That's a hit of dopamine. It's not training. It's self-soothing disguised as discipline. Over time, that power dynamic becomes even more and more addictive. Trainers and owners alike start to equate obedience with love. The balanced trainer identity also filled a void between compulsion training and science-backed training. Not only that, but it makes people feel special, like they belong to a group that gets it, while everyone else is just soft or naive. Positive-only people just don't really understand dogs. You know what that is? That's textbook cult language. Us versus them. It simplifies the world into believers and idiots, heroes and snowflakes, and offers belonging in exchange for your critical thought. But I digress. And like most cults, it's built around authority figures who present themselves as rebels against fake news or mainstream lies. They position science-based trainers like me as the establishment and themselves the gritty truth tellers. Social media accelerates all of this. The algorithms amplify the anger, the outrage. They reward it. They reward anger, outrage, and oversimplification. So trainers build entire audiences by posting these, dog whisperer style videos with domination framed as mastery. And then followers engage with them. And if we say anything against it, we get blocked, shamed. What was it? I had a dog trainer say to me one time, "You don't know how to raise dogs because you're a single, childless bookworm who does nothing but read books and attend conferences," if I remember correctly. I think that's pretty spot on. But I respond and I get blocked. Comment gets deleted. I am always silenced. And not in a bad way. It's just that they block themselves from me. No one will have this conversation with me. No one has had this conversation with me. I start this conversation consistently once every couple months, and someone comes at me, and I come right back at them, and it's just radio silence. Because they don't have an argument. I will always win this argument. Always. And I always have. But I get suppressed. Old habits die hard, I guess, right? For those kind of people. Look, I don't want to shame anybody, right? But this has been a closed system that's formed over decades that has created this belief system without question. And they sell them these lies because they're desperate and they replace compassion with certainty. Things like empathy are messy. They require nuance, patience, and tolerance for discomfort. Certainty is cleaner. You tell people dogs just need leadership. It absolves you of the emotional work. And that's why it spreads so easily. It's not about the dogs. It's about human avoidance, and it always has been. Look at his frustration. This is not about what the dog was doing. The dog was just walking around. But over the years, these things are so popular. Pain has become justified through rebranding. Words like stimulation, pressure, conversation, communication tool have sanitized the cruelty. The language manipulation is the lifeblood of every cult. You can change what something is called. You can change how people feel about doing it. They don't see themselves as hurting dogs. They see themselves as saving them. And it works. Until it doesn't. Because suppression looks like obedience until the dog finally snaps, breaks, bites. Then the story changes. Oh, that dog had a screw loose. She was unpredictable. That one just couldn't be saved. The cult survives by scapegoating the very dogs it fails. And now the pendulum is swinging because people, particularly the younger generation, are tired of fear-based everything. They want to feel good about the way they treat living beings, themselves, and other people. They want to understand, not just dominate. And they're starting to see through that manipulation. That's why this moment matters. This is the beginning of a collective unlearning.